The original Tribal Chief is back on SmackDown, and so are the good ratings, kind of, as SmackDown gets a big increase this week with Roman Reigns. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Forgot the name of the channel there, but here we go, we're back. Roman Reigns is back, and the ratings are back because after, quite a few bad weeks with SmackDown, underperforming, not doing well, we've got a change. We've got SmackDown doing a little bit better than what they've been doing recently. This week's rating coming in at a 1.652 million. It is the best SmackDown rating since the premiere on the USA Network, which was obviously heavily promoted. You had the return of Reigns that was pretty much being promoted. You had the world title steel cage match that was promoted. So you had a lot of stuff going on in that show. So it's no surprise that that is the best SmackDown rating of the USA Network era for the Blue brand. And I think that will probably be the best rating. I'm not sure SmackDown will beat that original premiere rating. Even though it wasn't that high, I still think the 1.75 that they got could be difficult to beat. But this week's SmackDown, certainly an improvement. It is up 9% on last week's rating. Last week, they're a 1.518 million. This week, obviously, they're a 1.652 million. So, up, 134,000 viewers. Decent numbers there. So, and that's probably all down to Roman Reigns. To be fair, I would imagine, since he was promoted for this show and they hyped up the fact that he was going to speak. The demo as well. Demo also up. Last week was a 0.47. This week was a 0.49. So the key demo goes up by 4%. So overall, just, better numbers for SmackDown. SmackDown heading up. I mean, it will probably head back down next week, I would assume. But they'll take a win wherever they can get it. And, Roman Reigns, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the guy, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's my favourite wrestler or anything like that, because he is not. But the guy can produce some numbers. Anytime WWE bring him back, anytime he's involved in a match or whatever, he tends to bring in the numbers a lot more than anybody else does. That is for sure. Now, speaking of the numbers, let's look at them. So let's look at the clips that WWE SmackDown uploaded to the YouTube page. In first place, no surprise, Jimmy Uso says Roman Reigns no longer has a tribe. This got 1.2 million. So yeah, Roman Reigns on the thumbnail. Not surprising that that was the highest viewed clip. In second place, we got the full match with Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa. 1.1 million. Again, Roman Reigns not featured in the title or the thumbnail, but we all know that he was going to get involved. It's Bloodline. And the two things that are drawing, the two things that are doing well in the numbers, the two things that are breaking the 1 million barrier on SmackDown, both belong to Roman Reigns / Bloodline related stuff. So hardly surprising. I mean, we already know this. The Bloodline, Roman Reigns, they seem to be a step above everything else. In third place, we got Kevin Owens confronts Cody Rhodes. This got 653k, pretty much half of what the Bloodline are doing. So Cody might be the champion, but he's not the real reason people watch SmackDown. He's not the number one in people's eyes. He may be the champion, but Roman Reigns is definitely the chief. So there's no doubt about that. Fourth place, Rhea Ripley takes it to Judgment Day. That's got 644,000 views. Bit of a drop off, again, in comparison to the Bloodline Reigns stuff. Fifth place, Kevin Owens attacks Randy Orton in the parking lot. This got 619, booyaka booyaka, 619,000 views. Obviously, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton. I mean, the numbers are there. People do care about that. But again, like I said, not quite as much as they care about the Tribal Chief. We then got the Judgment Day help Naomi defeat Nia Jax. That's got 393,000. Followed by Nia Jax gets confronted by Naomi and Liv Morgan. That's got 313,000. Then it was Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill fight Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, 299,000. And in last place, it was LA Knight takes down Carmelo Hayes in a US title match, 179k. And honestly, I mean, just nobody really cares about that trio right now. Those guys that are feuding over that mid-card belt. This is the definition of mid-card, just guys that aren't really going anywhere. I like LA Knight, but for me, over the past year, his stock has dropped massively. I think the time to push LA Knight was, over a year, 2022, early 2023. For me, that's when the guy really, was at the top of his game, and I think he felt fresh, and I think WWE should have, pushed him to the moon, but they decided to just basically job him out and have him be a mid-card guy, and, he came up short numerous times when competing for the WWE, SmackDown Championship, and now he's got the mid-card belt, and it's underwhelming. It is what it is, a long, dragged-out feud with Logan Paul. It's not very interesting, so I think they missed the boat. I think they should have pushed LA Knight quicker, but there you go, guys. There's your views. There is your ratings from SmackDown. So this week is up. We'll continue to see if SmackDown can do this next week, if they can hold the rating, but I'm going to doubt it. I think that we will see them drop again because, Roman Reigns, he's on the part-time schedule. He just isn't going to be there every single week. The way I see it now, if WWE don't promote Roman Reigns, then he's probably not on the show. And that's lame because, the guy should be a full-time part of the roster. He's not that good. He's not that worthy of the Brock Lesnar contract or the Brock Lesnar schedule or whatnot. But we know with Roman Reigns, you maybe get him 1 week and then you have to wait another 3-4 weeks to see him. So it is what it is. And you know what? The guy is pretty boring. His promo with Jimmy Uso wasn't great. It was kind of what we all expected, but we just know at this point that people just care. He's the thing that people care about the most. He's the guy that brings in the most numbers, and it's proven now. Outside of, obviously, The Rock or maybe John Cena when he was, coming back a bit more often, but in terms of guys that are on the roster, in terms of guys that, we expect to see, or guys that, we see at least often or occasionally or regularly, then Roman Reigns is the top dog, the big dog, so to speak. So, yeah, guys, that's it. There's your SmackDown ratings, a 1.652 million, a step in the right direction, and we'll see if they can continue to go up next week, or whether, this will be... I'm going to assume that we'll see SmackDown fall again. I think SmackDown will be closer to 1.5 than it will 1.7. I think we'll see a drop-off, especially if they do not promote Roman Reigns for next week's show. Anyway, guys, that is it. We also have the build-up to Crown Jewel. Cody versus Gunther. Just pretty damn boring, if you ask me. A throwaway pay-per-view for a throwaway championship that doesn't mean shit, but it is what it is. Got to keep the Saudis happy. Got to give them a fake belt that don't mean nothing. Anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Bean Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.